Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins Deluxe Snake Face from the fine folks over at Mattel. That said, I'm gonna use air quotes when I say deluxe in regards to good old Snake Face here, because I don't know if he's worth the deluxe price point. Other than the alternate head, not a whole lot deluxe going on here. I mean, let's face it, while that figure wasn't perfect, Web Store, one of my personal favorite evil warriors, was a basic release, and he had a friggin' zip line. So, is Snake Face really deluxe? I don't know about all that. That said, however, we do have the mini comic. Same one that came with Dragon Blaster Skeletor, who I did take a look at yesterday. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. Would really appreciate it if you did. Set on the back, you got the cross-sell with everybody on it. I pretty much have all these except Snake Tila, which my good buddy Evil Villain is actually trying to help me out with there. So there you go. That said, in the way of Snake Face's accessories, he comes with the snake staff. One of the few snake staffs I've gotten that doesn't have a big chunk of flash right where they hold on to it, actually. I think his and King Hiss were the only two that I didn't have that problem with. Everyone else's seems to have a big old chunk of flash right on the handle part, so that kind of sucks, but oh well. And then he comes with something that reminds me a lot of the Articulation shield from the old Playmates Skeleton Warriors line. This is the Snake Face shield, of course. This handle doesn't rotate, though it kind of looks like it could. It doesn't. Don't break your toys. But you can see that it's like a burst that goes into different snakes. So this is a snake head, that's a snake head, that's a snake head, that's a snake head. These are all snake heads. Very, very interesting. I just noticed that, actually, right as I was reviewing this. Not too long ago. And, of course, the piece de resistance comes with his snake face, which is a face full of snakes, and that is terrifying as HE double hockey sticks, man. That's insane. Like, they're coming out of his eyes. The only place they're not coming out of is his mouth and his nose, which that would have just been too much. That's, the eyes is overkill, man. That's crazy. But that said, he does have his little tongue hanging out there. And then he does have what look to be little snake tails sticking out of the back of his helmet. So it makes me wonder, are these for the snakes on his helmet? Or are they the snakes coming out of his eyes? And his head is like... It's kind of gory for a kid's line. So, you know, take that for what you will. Taking a closer look at good old Snake Face here. Really cool. Probably one of my favorite Snake Men to come out this year. And since we're on the topic of his gimmick, he does have the little snakes that do flip down on his chest. You can flip those down like so. That's really the only thing I can see making this guy the $20 price point instead of, or the $25 price point, excuse me, instead of the $20 price point. Can you believe that? Deluxe figures used to be $20. Now a basic is $20. That's called the poor economy, kids. Probably not the only time I'm going to say that in this video either. But with all that being said, as far as articulation goes on this guy, his head is on a double ball peg, kind of restricted here, but it does work really tight too. It actually works really well and holds a pose quite nicely. And if you're wondering, you can just pop the head off, and then you can pop the extra head on. There you go. And now you got the friggin' nightmare fuel that is Snake Face. And you can flip these down, and there you go. You're ready to terrorize the citizens of Eternos Palace with one of the most horrifying children's toys of the 80s, in my opinion. That Gregory Bat ain't got crap on good old Snake Face. Also a Mattel figure, for those of you who didn't know that. Not sure how I'll display mine, though. I kind of, like with King Hiss, I don't display him in his crazy Hydra form. I don't know if I'll display this guy in his crazy Gorgon form, because that's definitely the vibe I get from Snakeface. He definitely seems like a Gorgon, or as I like to call him, a Gygon, because, you know, most Gorgons are female because of Medusa, which is actually a really good Anthrax song off Spreading the Disease. First album they put out with Joey Belladonna on lead vocals. Lots of metal references lately. We referenced Megadeth yesterday in the Dragon Blaster Skeletor video. I wonder what tomorrow will bring. Probably nothing, but, you know, I've surprised myself before. That said, back to Articulation. His shoulders go out to the side, go back down, they rotate forward and back. He does have a hinge in the elbow with swivel. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge. Swivel at the waist. Doesn't squeak like Skeletor's, though. He's got hips that kick forward, which his kick forward a little bit better and easier than some figures in this line. Kick back down, they kick out to the side, then back in. He's got a hinge at the knee with swivel and a boot cut, as well as a hinge in the foot with a rocker joint and peg holes at the bottom of his feet. But thankfully, unlike Webstar, he's got nice tight joints in the legs, so you don't got to worry about that. I will say, as far as his shield goes, he does hold on to the handle pretty snug, but there is a lot of clearance between the handle and his hand, so the shield does have a tendency to get knocked loose. That said, what I personally like to do, I will pop the hand out and I will hold the shield on the arm and plug the hand back in, and the shield will never fall out. So, you know, just a word to the wise. If you ever wanted to keep your snake face from dropping his stuff, that's one good way to do it. And it's very, very, very effective in my experience. Maybe yours will differ, but it works for me. So with that all being said, let's now move right along, take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Snakeface alongside his deluxe wavemate, Dragon Blaster Skeletor, who I have standing here at a bit of an angle just so he's not looking a bit more large and in charge than he's supposed to. And then we also have Snakeface's Lord and Master, at least until Lady Slither comes in and cucks him out, King Hiss. And I just realized this is the only deluxe releases in this line we've gotten this year, other than, of course, Thunder Punch He-Man, who I'm a bit salty about missing, and all you guys scalping that figure for, like, what, $70 to $100, screw you. You suck, and you're the problem with this hobby. So, getting them out of the way here. This, of course, would not be one of my videos without bringing in good old Brother Mandibilith from Mythic Legions. Or, say that, where did I put him? Where did he go? There he is. The infamous 11 Spawn, who is just out of reach for some reason. And of course, because they're not 5.5 inch scale, they're literally off cam. So with all that being said, let's now move right along and wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do still think that the fine folks over at Mattel could have squeezed good old Snakeface here into the standard figure price point, I mean, really the only thing he's got going for him is the extra head, because remember Webstore? He was a standard release after all. That's what you call a bad economy, kids. And while there was no pun intended with that statement, I think Squeeze himself could have fit in better at the deluxe price point. with some arms that weren't all Go-Go Gadget Extendo arms or, all Mr. Fantastic and whatnot. But at the end of the day, out of all the Snake Men we've gotten this past year, and there's been a lot, some of them cool, some of them, I gotta tell you, Snake Face here is probably one of the better ones. So if you haven't picked him up yet, I highly suggest you do so if you can. I don't know if he's sold out like his Wavemate Dragon Blaster Skeletor in, well, quite a few places actually. So if you haven't picked him up yet, you might want to get on that, buddy. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.